We're making something really innovative.
It's the first of its kind.
No one anywhere in the world is doing something like this.
It's really about the East and the West and the love story where the twain shall eventually meet.
With a Bollywood movie, of course, anything is possible.
There's noise everywhere and people everywhere.
Songs, dance, heightened emotion, colour, gorgeous people, a screen goddess.
It's a visual feast.
Welcome to India.
It's just totally wild.
I love Bollywood films. I mean, I think Bollywood films have a language of their own, and emotionally things are heightened.
There's a lot about Bollywood that I really like, and I grew up with it, and a lot of the emotions I relate to.
There's an innocence to it, a celebration, and almost like a naivety that we don't really have in Western films.
One of the reasons that I wanted to make a Bollywood version of Pride and Prejudice is because the themes of Jane Austen's novel are so pertinent to contemporary India.
What we did is we took about taking the essence of the...
There was nothing that was that interesting, nothing different, or that seemed really interesting to go and do. And I read this, and it was just so different. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, except I used to travel a lot through Indonesia, and I remember sitting at a bus stop in Sumatra, in Indonesia, and you know the buses never run on time there, so I spent like 6 hours at this little terminal, and it was hot and whatever, and all it was playing was this movie, which was actually, I think it was more than 6 hours long, because it was still playing when I got on the bus, and I'm like, man, this film's never going to end, and they're really long films, and these men are like having this huge battle scene in this kind of desert, and there's all these big sort of boulders around, but they're all like throwing these saber swords and doing these twirls, and it's all like really heroic and aggressive. And then out of nowhere, these women jump up from behind the boulders, all dressed in their finery, and start like swaying their hips and, you know, doing this whole thing. And all the men drop their swords and start running after the women, and then they chase them back, and everyone's forgotten that we're at war here, you know, and there's this huge fucking life or death situation. Everyone's just singing, and then you cut to the Swiss Alps, and like, how did she get from that? She was just, you know, and so that was my first experience of Bollywood, was of love and marriage and culture.
Gurinder always said to me, for Beckham to work, the football sequences needed to be fantastic. And so we got a real good coach to make it work. And we trained the girls, and everybody thought these girls knew how to play football. And he said to me, in order for this movie to work, the dance sequence and the songs have to work very well. So we just went for the top of the line.
I got the offer that Gurinder has called you. So I went to see her. She was very nice in the first meeting. We just took up, it was like a rapport between us, and we understood each other very well. I enjoyed doing this movie. Gurinder is very precise, very particular what she wants. She has her decisions made, and you try to tell her this is not right, she'll say this is what I want, because it's nothing to do with Bollywood.
It's been incredible working with Saroj, because our whole thing, again, is about combining what's the best of Bollywood and the best of what's, you know, kind of classic Western storytelling. And Saroj has been fantastic because she knows that world so well. And her movements are incredibly expressive, and she has a whole feel for how to convey the drama within her movements. And that's exactly what Gurinder wanted.
If the song, and that's a feather in my cap, they have improved very well. Like Namrata, she was not such a fascinating dancer, but she kept on doing movies and, you know, training movies. She became such a lovely dancer. When first I met Aishwarya for the first movie, she couldn't take 3-4 turns together. She would feel giddy and say, no, I can't dance. But now you tell her 16 turns, she'll do it. It's the practice.
I think she can do just about, you know, anything, like any kind of dance, which is what makes her so exceptional.
My name's Nicholas Ellis. I'm the production designer, which basically entails anything that's in front of the camera that's not an actor or what they're wearing. I'd worked on Bend It Like Beckham with Gurinder, And there had been a few, you know, we'd watched a few Indian Bollywood movies then, you know, but not too many, because, you know, I wanted to do it from my perspective. With, you know, I was asked to do a job, and I thought I wanted to do it. I didn't want to try and plagiarise or copy anyone. I just needed some influences. What I didn't want to do was just try and slavishly follow what Bollywood people, you know, what Bollywood movies had done before. I wanted to take, you know, the influences from Bollywood, and I just wanted to simplify it a bit to maybe make it a little bit more stylised, bit more Western. I think the first thing that happened, Gurinder mentioned the script, and we obviously went through the script. I loved it and everything, and we worked out very quickly that, you know, what elements had to be done in India and what could be done in England. Once we'd come out to India and I'd got a flavour, suddenly there were just things that just leapt out that looked fantastic. That I don't know if Gurinder had sort of considered, but for me as a designer, and, you know, what stimulates me, it all started to make sense very quickly. Obviously the construction guys I used on this was a brand new relationship, and trying to drive along a load of people that have no affinity with you is something that we had some hairy moments, shall we say, early on building the relationship, but it worked out really well in the end. But when we arrived here, this was just a disused mill, and it's just like big blocks of building, but there was something about the ratio and the shape and the way the street went up, and how we could involve put a curve in the end of the road and bring the girls in, and then bring down and open it up into the square. It just sort of, everywhere else we looked at I just dismissed it, because this felt right immediately. So decisions sort of make themselves, but only if they feel right. Goa Groove, we always wanted a Goa full moon party, but they don't really exist anymore in the way that they used to, because of the Europeans came to Goa and just ruined it for everybody by playing, you know, techno music till 7 o'clock in the morning off their heads, and so they made all these laws and sort of stuff. It was a full moon party, so, you know, if you look at it, there's a full moon, which is a bit obvious, but we, by putting in the LED star signs, also being able to take the moon away, put the sun up, and bring in the rays, and then you know, bring in for no particular reason. Like the stage, we'd built a stage, we'd done the drawings, everyone had looked at it, gone yes, 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 yes. But at 8 o'clock the night before filming, the following afternoon, we had to double the side of the stage, which is like in anywhere else, like Bombay, Delhi, London. You know, it's not a problem because materials are readily available. It's some black lino, so we've got to double the side of the stage. Now we don't really have time to repaint the floor and fill it and do all that stuff, which we had been doing. Could you get some black floor, just some lino or something shiny black, or anything black that's flat, rubber or something? By 3 o'clock and 2:30 in the afternoon, it was obvious there was nothing like that in the area at all. 3 weeks ordering from Mumbai, maybe we'll get it. So roaring, filling it in, trying to paint it, get a bit of varnish to spray it. As the sun was going down, and then the humidity came up, so it was never going to dry. And improvising polythene, people skidding everywhere. When we open up on that scene now, and you see the sort of the moon and Ashanti in silhouette, and the sort of ripply blue thing, it almost looks intentional, which it was actually. Design, darling, you can't beat it.
My name's Pat Hay, and I'm the chief makeup artist. That means you've obviously read the script, met all the actors, and create all the characters the way they should look, to make them look the characters that they're playing, and the way Gurinder, our director, wants them to look. Basically, there's a hairdresser and myself and costume designer. And once we've read the script and we know what the characters, the lines of the characters and things are, we sit with the director. She discusses the costumes, colours, different kinds of personalities that the people have. And then we talk about how far we're going to go with them, how little, how subtle, how over the top, you know, the varying ranges of how much makeup to scrubbed faces. And, you know, because we have a little girl, there's 4 sisters in this. And we have one of the little girls who's the studying little girl, who's very simple and very nice, and, you know, so she's not as glamorous as the rest of them. And that's how we base our characters, really on the Gurinder's brief of what she would like. I'd never seen a Bollywood film. And because this is an American company, really, and a British company, with India as well, and an Indian company making a Bollywood film, but they didn't want it totally Bollywood, because that can be the makeup, and it's very, almost fantasy. And you're aware that there's an awful lot of makeup. And men as well wearing a lot of makeup. And in the West, you know, we don't use that much of men. You don't like to notice makeup. Really, if you notice makeup in men, you haven't done a good job. So it's a fine line of keeping it glamorous, so that you have a touch of Bollywood, which is a little more than you would do for a European or an American movie. But, you know, not as garish as some of it can be. So it's a little subtler. I've never done a Bollywood movie, and I'm probably never likely to do one again. And that really, really attracted me, because it's the biggest industry in the world. Bollywood movie, and I never ever thought I'd be asked to do it. So there was another picture I was asked to do at the same time, and I went no, because I'll never ever probably get the chance to do anything like this again, and it's been a hell of an experience. It's incomparable. There's so much singing and dancing, and so many people. We've got 1,000 extras, and we've got all sorts of different little characters, fish sellers and fortune tellers and eunuchs, marvellous sort of street traders. There's 1,000 people plus all our cast, all singing and dancing at one point, and lots of them will have to get little details and things done to them, so I think that'll be pretty hectic and challenging. This country is so populated. You know, to queue up and go to the movies is a complete fantasy thing. I mean, we go and see art and real life and kitchen sink dramas. They want to see fantasy. There's a lot of poverty, a lot of things. They get it in the can, and I think people love it. There's more cinemas in India, apparently, than there is in the USA. Gorinda's unbelievable. She's a real hands-on director. She's not airy-fairy, arty-fart. She just says what she means what she says. You get a bollocking if you don't get it done. Everybody loves her, and I think she's a very talented woman. God, she's sort of written it, directed it. Great energy and love for it. She's a one-off, I think. It's always difficult at the beginning of a picture, you know, people's likes and their dislikes and all the rest of it. And I think it was hard for a lot of the Indian cast coming to Britain and staying. We filmed in Britain for 8 weeks in London. You know, they missed their comforts of home, and they had to get used to all of us. And we had to get used to them. And for makeup departments, there's different skin tones to realise, Indian cameraman and things. But I think now we're just one big happy family.
We spent 6 days on shooting the wedding scene, the wedding song and dance number at RAF Halton, which was supposed to be Amritsar, the bride's house. And it was our first full-on Bollywood number. So the whole crew, the British crew, were all like, oh my God, what are we doing, kind of thing. And we got to the end of it, finally. And at the very end, we then decided to get the B camera. We got our video camera, and I got all the crew together, and we did our own sort of version of the whole song in like 3 minutes, you know, as opposed to 6 days. That was really good fun, because it was incredible how much the crew had picked up in terms of all the movements and stuff. So all the you know, the male crew, you know, did the male parts, and the girls did the girls' part, and that was really funny, actually, when we finally did that all in 3 minutes, and it was all so spontaneous. That was really good.
Subconsciously, there were some people actually keeping track and memorizing and knowing what's to follow what, because on the last day, everyone kind of jump up with their memory of, you know, kind of recollecting what comes up after this line and what shot went with what. was just so much of fun. It suddenly made all the past 4 or 5 days of filming just one big party, and everyone was having a good laugh.
Timing was perfect, wasn't it? That was fantastic. Oh my god. Who needs dancers?
The Ashanti song is also politically very important, because in Bollywood movies there's always what we call an item number, which is when a very sexy girl gets up and performs a song and she's nothing to do with the movie. She's never anywhere else in the movie. She's just there doing her item number. And that goes back to a long tradition in movies when actresses like Helen would come on and do cabaret numbers, and she'd be dressed very sexually and just sort of very provocatively dance around on a stage. And all the characters would be sitting there sort of just watching, like this kind of stuff. So the whole Ashanti sequence is really a nod to Helen and the tradition in Bollywood to have someone come in and perform a sexy song. The lyrics of which resonate with our story, but aren't necessarily related directly.
The song is basically, the gist of it is called Take Me to Love, and throughout the entire movie there's points where, you just hear that phrase, take me to love, and it's basically a seductive type of record talking about, I will entice you, I'll bring you in, just take me to love. My eyes are searching, my hips are working, my lips are waiting, take me to love.
The fact that you're using, that you're going to be working with people from the 3 parts of the world as well. I mean, this is one film where you're using artists, or even technicians for that matter, an entire unit of this film, which involves people from the Indian film industry. Gurinder is a British filmmaker, so she's British. She's got a couple of actors who are from the British film industry. She's got technicians from here, and then again she's working with actors from the US. And then, while in doing that, you have all of us belonging to one film. Basic facts, yes, this is my first English film, technically. So even though I may be speaking English in every day of my life, but when you're working in an English film, it is discovering a new medium. Just like in India, I've worked in Hindi films, which is the national language, but I've also worked in Tamil films and Bengali films. And when you work in a different language, you're addressing a different body language, a different intonations, different renderings. So it is, thereby being the first time, it was like a fresh study for me. The routine, the schedule was tough, exhausting, but fun, and I think that combination is rare, and we all had a lot of fun making this movie. Running through the fountains I haven't done before. It looked glorious, I mean, it looked fabulous, and I think that's precisely why Gurinder used that. But that's what she would, or I guess anybody else would define as a Bollywood moment, because we have songs in our movies, and in our song situations, sometimes they're normal, or they're set in a house, or they're situation based, and sometimes they're an absolute a dream situation where you're just transposed into this new world, maybe a new country, maybe a new city. That was one such situation. So I have experience of kind of wearing a dress in the freezing cold in Switzerland, in the snow, or being in such situations where not necessarily dressed for the occasion, or it may not seem normal to a viewer, to the audience, but it makes for a cinematic moment, and that was one such. So I think you'd get a far more interesting response from Martin, who was, I think, in shock doing something like this, but he was wonderful with it, and it was great. And at the end of it, because it was so cold, Gurinder was such a sport. She and Paul kind of went in and did the same moment that me and Martin were doing, and we all had a good laugh. It was really, really wonderful. She's great. I mean, she's very, very bright, dare I say, and she's very clever. I mean, having been involved in the scripting of a film obviously keeps her so on the ball. I mean, she knows what she wants. She knows what emotion she wants to extract out of the actor or the scene or the moment, and she's very there. So in that sense, she makes an excellent director. At the same time, the beauty of working with her is how she makes it fun. The film has a lot of funny moments, and we'd enjoy them while filming them. And I think that calls for an all-in-all good experience, truly. The schedule was grueling. I mean, my character, I think like by the end of it, we were like, my character, Gurinder, Santosh, the cinematographer, I think all of us, the sound department, I don't think we had a single day off. We have worked every single day of the entire schedule. It's like the first day I go through the schedule and you have working days and holidays. And I was desperately looking for that H, and there was no holiday against my character. I was like, I don't get a single day off. And it was truly, in that sense, it was an exhausting schedule. But it just zipped by. I mean, we actually had fun along with the serious hard work. Like with all these song sequences, while it's physically draining, we're all kind of putting in so much and trying to get those wrapped within schedule. At the end of the day, we'd still have enough time to get the entire unit on the floor and kind of redo the whole song at one go, and we'd film it and we'd get everyone to participate, and it was just so much of fun. It suddenly made all the past 4 or 5 days of filming just one big party, and everyone was having a good laugh. Martin is a wonderful guy. We met first at the reading that we had during that workshop that I said just a week before we started filming. And he was instantly warm, and it kind of already prepared me for what the working experience would be like, because we went through that reading really nicely with Gurinder in discussion about our characters, about the film, being light, and we immediately were like, we had known each other from before. That wasn't the first meeting, and that definitely was great, because we were at ease, even though it could have worked fine otherwise, I guess, going by characters not supposed to be extremely warm from the onset, but it made the acting experience very, very comfortable. There were some great scenes, great moments, and I think working in these 3 different areas as well, working in the UK was a really long schedule, and got us all immediately well acquainted, and we worked very well together. And then they came over to India. So that was extremely new for them. For Martin and Daniel to come forward to a new country, and you can be prepared for all kinds of reactions, and a new culture, a new country, a new atmosphere to be working in and working with. But they were brilliant. And then we went forth to LA, and it was like his hometown for now. And it was just really, really nice. I mean, by the end of it, we all had gone through a very big experience through the making of the film, and there was a nice connection. They're fond memories.
My name is François Ivernel. I'm the head of Pate UK, and this is my colleague Cameron McCracken. We are not going to dance. The story started 3 years and a half ago in May 2001, when Gurinath Chadha and Paul Mayeda-Berges came to see us with the idea of turning Jane Austen classic Pride and Prejudice into a Bollywood musical. We fell in love with the idea. We said yes, we want to develop it. They went off to write a screenplay. Then Gurinder made a worldwide hit with Bend It Like Beckham. And here we are today, a fairly short time after the beginning, actually, given the history of cinema and how much time movies take to make. Before passing the microphone, a last word for Miramax, who are distributing our film in the US and who have been fantastic partners in business and creatively. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would also like to thank our regular film financing partners, the UK Film Council, Ingenious Media, and Société Générale. I should also thank the British government as well, because they, through the lottery and through tax breaks, have proved a great supporter of British filmmaking and particularly innovative voices in cinema. And there is possibly no more innovative a voice than that of the director of Pride and Prejudice. It's with great pleasure that I would like to introduce to you the hugely talented and irrepressible Gurinder Chadha.
I'm absolutely delighted to be here at the London Palladium, and I'm thrilled because so many of my family are here from all corners of the world, and you'll know who they are because they've all got food in their pockets. Obviously after Bend It Like Beckham there's so much expectation, but this is an altogether different film. A British film, of course, with a nod to Bollywood, but as we started making the film, you know, instinct takes over, so it's really become a tribute to, I think, all the musicals that I ever grew up with. So whilst it is Bollywood, there's certainly a healthy dose of Fiddler on the Roof in there, and Oliver, and West Side Story, and all the rest of it. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'm delighted that so many of the cast are here. So I'm bringing on Nitin Ganetra, Indira Verma, Ronnie Guy, Martin Henderson, Miss Ashwarya Rai, the co-writer of the script and my husband, Paul Meada Burgess. And the irrepressible, who, without our character, Mr. Kohli, would not be, our producer, Deepak Nair.
They promised me an entrance in the car. I don't know what happened here. You know, 2.5 years ago when Gurinder and I started this movie, knowing my obsession for one thing, she gave me a gift. This. I wonder what she was thinking 2.5 years ago. But it's been a wonderful journey with this wonderful cast and the crew sitting up there, even though most of them thought I was being cheap while making this movie. But it had a great fun. I thank them all for being here, for doing this movie. I'd like to thank my partners who joined us this movie, in financing this movie. Miramax, Harvey Weinstein, he was always there. He was just always there, you know. Ingenious, UK Film Council, and Pathé. But most importantly, two people, Francois Vanel and Cameron McCracken. They were always there for us, from the very first step to the last minute. Including the last moment I called Cameron up and asked him, Cameron, who's paying for my ticket? He said, I will, but just one way. If the movie's a hit, I'll pay for you to go back. Otherwise, find your own way back.
My skin's pulsating, my body shaking, my lips are waking, take me to love. Pardon me si t'arrêtes.
That's why you asked me, come a little more inside.
Yes, she's been quite low because he's not messaged her or...
He's a good girl. He's a good guy.
He's a good girl.
Take one.
That's all right, Maya. You have entertained us enough today.
Lalita, why don't you sing one of your songs for our guests on your guitar?
Oh, you write songs and play guitar?
Yes, since she was a little girl and sings them so well.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh my God.
Keep running.
Show me that world, take me to love. Show them the way, take them to love. Things only hurt.
Mama gaga re re sa 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 re ga ma pa ma pa da pa da ni la ni sa sa ni la ni la pa da pa ma ga ma ga re sa.
Where have you been? Huh? All the mothers in town will be after Balraj. We'll be at the back of the queue now.
Mama.
Papa, they've already invoiced us for the paper machinery. Did it arrive in one piece?
Just barely. The crooks wanted double deposit in case we are late in our payments.
You two spend all day at that useless farm, pushing bills from one side to the other side. This Balraj is the real answer to our problems. Bijli, what are you doing standing here? Go and fix Saab's blue suit for tonight. Come here. Pull out that British tie from Harrods. Oh, it's too much tension for my poor heart.
Papa, this Maya and Mama want me to change now. What's wrong? Wants me to change now. What is wrong with me showing?
Just handle this.
You look like a cheap vamp. That's what. Now you go change. Go.
Everybody changes. Go. We must get there before that Mrs. Lama gets her claws into him for her Chandra. She's ruthless, I tell you.
Don't be too eager, Mama. It seems desperate.
We are desperate. He's a barrister.
Why do I have to always change, yeah?
Quiet, please. It used to be in the family. One voice, everyone listens. Now it's all the voices and no one listens.
What nonsense are you talking, old man? All I want is to meet Balraj before he's taken. Is that too much to ask for your poor wife of 27 years?
No, it's... Hold on. We have a serious problem.
What's wrong?
What happens if we meet this young man and he mistakes your mother for one of my beautiful daughters?
Mr. Bakshi, when I die of tension, then you will know what a good wife I was. Come on, all of you. Get ready. Change. Come on, hurry up.
I am going to wear my kurta pajama.
Whatever you wear, hurry up.
Your mother tells me you have family in England.
Yeah. Our uncle lives in Southall, near London Airport.
Southall. How lovely.
Well, I've never been there. I'm told he imports spices.
Oh, how sweet. Now, Southall.
Karen.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Well, Southall's just so first generation. I mean, I know it's where Indians first went to England, but I just don't know why anyone would stay there. And I thought anyone who'd made it moved out ages ago.
Kieran.
What?
You don't have to.
That was well done.
What?
Come on.
I'm not going to stand by and let some Indian Pinjin girl trap my brother. I like Jaya. It's just a shame she's from such an inappropriate family.
Well, you didn't have to rub their noses in it.
Come on, Will. You know it would never work with my family. I mean, my parents would be devastated.
No, Mama, I'm not taking the tea to Kohli.
Why not? I think you made quite a strong impression on him last night. It won't kill you to take him his tea.
And what about him? Did he impress you?
Were you not at the same table, silly girl? He has a house worth $1 million. And he knows Amitabh Bachchan.
But I refuse to serve him. It's too humiliating.
What nonsense are you talking, silly girl? I have taken tea to your father for 27 years. Your father has spoilt you by giving you too many books to read. Maya? Maya!
Yes, Mama.
Take this tea to Kohli.
Yes, ma.
You go, beta.
Could we fly away? Lie on a cloud all day.
Hold hands and get kissed by the sun.
Shall we swim out deep? Watch dolphins leap.
Like my heart would if you said I was the only one.
Show me the way, take me to love. Things only hurt, now I wanna be.
Get the grey bag and my toilet kit from the bathroom.
Oh, hello, madam. What a surprise. Please come in. Will you sit down?
Lolita, may we have a private word, please?
Is everything okay?
Anne tells me that William is in love with you. Is this true? William will marry Anne. They just haven't set a date yet.
Just come here.
We've known Anne's family for 3 generations. We're part of a close group. These things still matter. It may not be fair, but it's true. Did he propose to you?
No.
Promise me that you will never marry him, and I will make it worth your while.
I don't make promises to my own mother. Why should I promise anything to you? Excuse me.
I have to have your word.
I have no control over who your son loves or doesn't love. Mrs. Darcy's leaving.
What happened, beta?
This is impossible.
Hey, what a surprise!
It's Belraj here.
Yeah, he's in the kitchen. How are you? You alright? Darcy? You okay?
Yeah, just give us a minute, one, Karen.
Okay.
Darcy, what are you doing here?
I owe you an apology, Belraj. I was wrong about Jaya, and I'm sorry. I'm the last person fit to give you marriage advice.
Wow. You admit you were actually wrong about something. God, Jaya's face when I left her. I don't know how I can face her again.
I'm sorry.
There's a song in the film called Arrogance, Pride and Vanity, which Ash and Martin sing on the beach in Goa. I took a day out of something else that I was supposed to be doing, and I just said, I'm just going to do it on the beach, myself, the way I want to do it. As it happens, Saroj was there because she was there to do the Ashanti rehearsals. But I devised that song myself, and I talked through how I wanted to do it. So that's my sort of Andrew Lloyd Webber sort of moment, I think. It's very sort of that sort of style, with a bit of Bollywood thrown in. But I had envisaged it all in terms of focus pulls and them being in the same frame and moving around. And it sort of works, you know. I mean, Saroj came in at one point and sort of helped me finesse it. But it's quite a nice balance of Western and Bollywood. Now, It was cut because it was felt that the movie was too long and we didn't need a song there because we had Go a Groove with a Shanty coming up, so it was felt like we didn't need a song there. And I kind of was always upset about that because it's a great song, I think, and emotionally it really ties up where Lolita and Darcy are at that point in the story.
Arrogance, pride, and vanity. The girl has some audacity. What does she know? How is she so sure? Just who is she to judge me?
Arrogance, pride, and vanity. Roll them up, you get Darcy. Where has he been and what has he seen? To think he can judge my country.
The smile from her eyes is a rarity. Can't find a thought to which she might agree. Rip you to shreds over jokes she didn't get. What a waste, God had to make her so pretty.
Thinks we should behave accordingly.
Arrogance, pride, and vanity. The girl has some audacity. But why do I care how this matters to bear? This desire to show her the real me.
Arrogance, pride, and vanity. Roll them up, you'll have Darcy. But why do I care? Have this mad need to share the centuries of magic that have made me.